Good morning. It's that time again, or good afternoon to some of you. It's morning for me, so I'm always going to say good morning. Simple as that. Hello, Mori and Ixie. Welcome back. I hope you have a great day as well. Damasake, haven't seen you since Legend of Dragoon. Where were you? I decided to start streaming back on Twitch. I've been a Twitch partner for next year's my 10-year anniversary for my Twitch partner. So I decided to go back to Twitch. Not because of the anniversary, I just kind of prefer streaming on Twitch. But with the Legacy of Kain stuff, I figured I would try dual streaming. And yeah, that's about it. I've just been streaming on Twitch. I guess a lot has gone on over the past year. I went to school, so I wasn't streaming for a few months pretty much because of that. Got licensed as a manicurist in my state, so that took up some time, things like that. Was working for a bit. Unfortunately, my disabilities got kind of the better of me, and I haven't been able to work, so here I'm back again. Off and on streaming, as always, but here we are. So I'll be honest today, I don't know what it is. Like I said, I might be sick. I don't know, but we're just going to play this stream by ear. More than likely, I'm just going to spend some time going through the optional stuff in the Soul Reaver remasters today. And then I'm thinking on Monday, we will start Blood Omen 2. I think that'll work out better anyway, because I feel like it's going to be weird if I start Blood Omen 2 today and then have like 3 days off. Because like I said, I have appointments tomorrow, and then over the weekend, I need some time for myself, and then get done with some offline work, and then resume on Monday. And then I'm sitting here like, okay, what were we doing? Not having played for the last 3 days. So I think today we're just going to have kind of a shorter Thursday stream. I'm sorry. Hi, Rival. Did you beat the games already? Yes, we did Soul Reaver 1 on Tuesday, and we did Soul Reaver 2 yesterday. Yeah. I have both the VODs are up on my channel. They're labeled and everything. So if you want to go back and watch them, they're there. We actually had one of the remaster devs come in yesterday on Twitch and talk about the remasters. While I was playing Soul Reaver 2 yesterday. Very nice guys. So that was kind of interesting and fun. That was very awesome. You played them both back in the day? Yes, I usually play Soul Reaver once a year. I try to stream it too. So yeah. I have a question though. Is the game killing glitch still present in Soul Reaver 2? Are you talking about the PC version where if you shift, you can't move your character? Because no. I actually didn't run into like any glitches playing Soul Reaver 1 or 2. Granted, I wasn't doing a lot of exploring or anything like that. I was just kind of going through the games pretty fast, to be honest. But I didn't really run into any glitches. My Soul Reaver 1 game did crash once, but that was like at the opening cutscenes, yeah. Wait, the one in the Dark Forge where it will lock you in if you disturb the disappearing birds just outside. I didn't know that was a glitch. In that case, I don't know. I have no idea, yeah. That's interesting. No. I didn't know that. I haven't ran into that, so I couldn't say. But I personally have not experienced any glitches, so I don't know. Hopefully not. But it seems like they have been patching the game, if I'm not mistaken. At least I heard there was a patch for it like yesterday or something. So it's very possible that they are listening to everyone's feedback. Wow, okay, yeah. Apparently I got through Soul Reaver 2 real fast because all of the achievements, like the last one, Obtain the Fire Reaver, 0.4% of players have this achievement. So that's it. That's kind of funny. There's a lot of random stuff for achievements. Yeah, there's a lot of people on my friends list who are playing this because back when I when I played Nosgoth, I got really in with the Soul Reaver community. Like, I did watch that No Clip documentary yesterday, or last night, by the way, while I was cooking dinner and stuff. And I did not realize Reyna Audrin was so involved with the development. Hi, Crow. Nice to see you. Yeah, I was really stupid on the PS2. If you disturb the birds that evaporate in green mist, then the Dark Forge exit door won't let you out. You had to reload your save. Oh, that's annoying. Even after completing it? Oh, that'd be really annoying. Yeah, and like I got to meet people like Reyna Audrin and stuff back when I was super into Nosgoth. And like I said, I watched that No Clip documentary last night while I was cooking dinner, and I didn't realize Reyna actually was involved with the development for the remasters. Because I knew she did the HD stuff, the HD mod on her own, or not necessarily on her own, but with other people, and I knew about like the Lost Levels a little bit, and her work and her website, or their website. I don't want to say it's necessarily her website, but yeah, I know there's been a huge community chronicling Soul Reaver for a while, and like I said, I just didn't know she was involved, so it's really cool. I remember just tearing your hair out, wondering why Raziel wasn't opening the door, only to find out a Game Facts walkthrough. I literally just had to use a Game Facts walkthrough to get through Blood Omen a couple weeks ago now. Yeah. That is funny. That is funny. Oh, that is great. But yes. So, wow. I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through the achievements and stuff. There's probably a lot of achievements I didn't get just through rushing through the games like I did, which is kind of funny. 44 out of 83 achievements earned. Yep. Bring the wrong sacrificial heart. There is a glitch. Actually, I take that back. There is a glitch in Soul Reaver 2 right now with a black box in the Wind Reaver Forge that we ran into yesterday. So that was kind of interesting. Actually, you guys want to know how involved I've been in with the Nosgoth community? At least at one point. Let me bring up my browser. I'll show you guys. Nosgoth. I think it was the open beta trailer. I always want to call it the community trailer because that's realistically what it was, but I think it was the open beta launch trailer. Killing that. I don't have a screen just for showing YouTube videos, so we're going to use this. This is fine. We're going to window capture, and it's probably going to capture the wrong thing. Of course it does. There we go. Ah! Now it's above me. Alright. So this is kind of fun. This is the fucking right now. Yeah, actually gonna make me sign in to see this. Okay. I don't want to sign in. It makes me confirm my age to see the trailer. Are you hecking with me right now? Let me see. Oh, that's annoying. That is very annoying. Hi, Shinku. It's been a while since you last saw this game. Getting lost during the PS1 days. Yes. So just to clarify, you did an entire session from the cutscene where Raziel spots Vorador until you leave the Dark Forge in the glitch and clear. Yeah. I honestly played it last week on a PS2 emulator too and didn't have any issues as well. So yeah, there's that. Since I've never played these games, it's really cool to see how involved people are around them. Yeah, no, Legacy of Kain, absolutely. I said this before. It has a cult following. Has a very dedicated cult following in a good way, right? When I say cult following, I mean something like, what's that? I can't remember the name of the movie. I can visualize it in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. Oh, dear. What I'm trying to say, it's like, it's just a game that has a community, and they've been very dedicated over the years. Yeah. Let's see if...
Rated M.
Oh! Oh, Jesus Christ, sorry. That jump scared me too. Alright. I just had to sign in with an account. So I can actually see this on Brave. So like I said, kind of fun to see how involved I was with the Soul or like Legacy of Kain community a little while ago. Yeah, just flip the screen, that's fine. This is kind of fun. So this was for a game called Nosgoth. Oh boy, 9 years ago. That sounds about right. Yeah, I was super involved with this community. You can even see my old YouTube account here commenting on it with a reply. Because they asked me to shoot. So they asked a few community members in Nosgoth who were kind of prominent in the community, right? They asked us to shoot some footage and stuff. And so we did for the trailer, open beta trailer for Nosgoth. And you'll see like cards with all our names on it. So I'm about halfway through. I'm playing the Raziel. That's what I was really known for in the community, was my my gameplay of the Raziel and stuff. Yeah. My sister and I are huge fans of LOK. We both filled out the survey at Crystal Dynamics. Yes, me too. I did as well. What's the latest entry? It was Defiance back in 2003. Yeah, 11 years ago. Yeah, and then Nosgoth was a multiplayer game. I'm not going to say it was an entry in the franchise, though. It never got out of beta. They cite there just wasn't enough interest, which I have my own opinions about that and stuff, but we don't need to go into that.
I'm for mature.
But yeah, so this was the open beta launch trailer for Nosgoth, and you can see this trailer was made in collaboration with the Nosgoth community and features real players, which is true. Like I said, we shot footage for this trailer. And if you didn't know, this is back when Square Enix actually held the IP for Nosgoth. And Psionics, now better known as the Rocket League devs, were developing it. I actually got to know Psionics pretty well during this time. Great bunch of people. Greg, he was the QA lead. We would hang out a lot. Eric, he was an artist. He did a lot of the concept art and stuff for Nosgoth. Corey was the main game designer at the time. He would sit and troll us a lot, especially in our Twitch chats. This was a very small community, don't get me wrong. But Corey, we talked to Corey a lot. He was the game director on Nosgoth. I still have some really old screenshots somewhere buried in my hard drives about Nosgoth and Corey's dumb comments. He would troll us. Corey would straight up troll us. The good news is that Psionics had such a good relationship with the community that Corey, the game director, could come into Twitch chat and troll us, and it would honestly be kind of funny. Because there's this mechanic that wasn't intended for the game. Like, they didn't intentionally put it in, much like it's like Quake's strafe jumping. It wasn't an intended mechanic, but it became integral to Quake, right? Strafe jumping, or bunny hopping, as some people know it. It was a mechanic like that, and then Corey came into one of our chats. I think it was mine. He said, "Yeah, so we're removing that mechanic." It was kind of funny. But yeah, great people. Got to see a lot of concept art. I actually played an alpha, not even alpha build of Rocket League. I don't have the executable anymore, but they literally sent me the executable of like gray blocked Rocket League through Skype a long time ago, which is really funny to think about now. Greg did that because Greg, like I said, he was the QA lead, at least at the time, on Nosgoth. I don't know what he's doing or where he is now. That was like his child. Rocket League was his child, and well, now we know how big it's gotten, so I'm very happy for the Psionic guys because they are wonderful people.
On battlefields of blood, Hatred has united the darkest of warriors to wage a war of subjugation.
So throughout this entire trailer, you'll see skins. We picked the skin, so I would use a skin a lot. Someone else would use a skin a lot, and that's the skin that they used for the trailer. Not all of this is player shot, though.
I hope you're ready to die.
So here's Reyna Audrin again. She's obviously always been very involved with the community.
Till every last one is dead.
Burbs was also... I mean, all the people you'll see in this trailer are were very involved with the Nosgoth community at the time. 100%. Both NA and EU. She's Reaver.
Death to all Kain's followers.
Listen, Vampire, I definitely still have the majority of these people on my Steam friend list. If not all of them. Just somewhere on there. And there's me! There's me! This is my claim to fame. That's me. Raziel Warmonic Poggers. Ah, yes, bunny hopping. That was nostalgic. What game genre do I usually play? Off stream, I'm mostly an MMO player. On stream, I've been doing a lot of variety stuff, yeah. That's me, Poggers. Yeah, I have like the high resolution card of this on my computer somewhere. Because they sent me that. We're going down nostalgia trip. This isn't just the remaster anymore. I'm sorry. I remember Plex. Plex is really a really nice person. This is no. Diaxna, he was an EU player. I didn't get to interact with him as much. Psycho Cat. Psycho Cat was the community manager on the game at the time. She works for Square Enix. I don't know what project she's on now or if she's even still at Square. But yeah, she was the community manager at the time. Got to know her pretty well. Also a very awesome person. That's not even all the classes and stuff. I think maybe it was. There's only 8. No, there's more than that because they added Deceiver and stuff. No, wait. This is a long time ago. It was a cool concept for a game at the time. It just sucks trying to balance an asymmetric shooter. That was the biggest issue. And I can show you... I'm trying to see because they're oh, maybe it doesn't come up when I search on my no history account. There was a couple people that they would try and use my name in Nosgoth as like their YouTube videos. Yeah, there we go. Some of these are just like weird reposts, but this is how involved I was with in the community, that people would try and use my name in the community as clouds, which is kind of funny. This guy in particular really had it out for me. I don't know why. This is so long ago, but every time I appeared on his stream, there's me right there. He gets really excited about killing me.
Give her one good smack and then get out of there.
It is just one of those videos you look back on and it makes you crack up. This is 100% ego searching, by the way. I won't deny that. I won't deny. This is so long ago. A lot of the videos I feel like are low quality. Yeah, 720. This is when everybody was recording in 720 for multiplayer games like this. I will say I probably got in a tiff with the devs because we would modify the config to make the graphics worse than they were supposed to be in game for performance and stuff. They were not a fan of that, but they just kind of accepted it as well if they wanted a competitive multiplayer game. Yeah, he's playing the Reaver. Yeah, it's just funny. Because watching through this, like, he gets really mad. Your mythic kills back in Warlord, right? It's fun.
I would have had her.
See, he's talking about me again. It's just funny. It's very nostalgic. Anyway, so that's Nosgoth.
I had her, dude, but I ran out of bullets.
That's Nosgoth. It's that is an old, and it's funny because whenever I talk about Nosgoth, people are like, "Oh, Nosgoth, I miss that game." It's like, no, you don't. Shut up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, you don't. So anyway, I was extremely involved with Nosgoth. I don't want to toot my own horn or blow it out of proportion, but I firmly believe that I was one of the community heads, if not like the community head for Nosgoth, based on everything I did for that game. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to go back to the remaster today is because after watching the NoClip documentary, which was really great, by the way, they actually got into the studio, Crystal Dynamics studio, shot a lot of footage. They went through archives and stuff, right? To pull up a lot of stuff, and it's crazy. They have voice auditions of half the MGS cast auditioning for Soul Reaver. So you hear David Hayter like auditioning for Soul Reaver and stuff. I think it was Olga's voice actor auditioning for like Ariel, or Uma maybe in Ariel, something like that. It's crazy. It was funny. So it was really cool to see footage that has just literally never been seen before in that NoClip documentary. Yeah, I've never watched a NoClip documentary before, so that was my first one. Like I said, I watched it while I was cooking dinner. Not that you really need to like watch a documentary like that. You can just kind of listen to it and look over. But what I didn't know is that with this bonus content is there are the lost levels, and these are levels that were basically halfway developed and just had to be cut from the game because they didn't have enough time to implement them, or memory, or who knows what else. And I didn't know that they even had like I glanced at this thinking it was just going to be this giant text to the right you see here about the lost levels. And so I just kind of glanced through. I'm like, I'm not reading all that on stream. That's like another time thing, right? And so this is kind of interesting. These are actually the playable lost levels. I went through 2 of them a little bit last night just to make sure what they were and stuff. I didn't explore them too much, but it is early development stuff, right? Like half the things, it's just, they're not completed. They are not completed whatsoever. Just straight up. That's part of the reason why they're the lost levels and not the implemented levels. But they even have like, I guess what was supposed to be Turel's area and things like that. So I'm going to read through this forward. I'm just going to take a drink of water beforehand, so we can read this together. So forward on the lost levels. 25 years ago, I fell in love with Soul Reaver. Its setting, story, characters, art direction, high quality voice acting, and seamless open world raised the bar for gaming in the late 1990s. Literally 1999. I knew even before I started playing that significant parts of the story and game world have been removed in order to meet the release date. But Soul Reaver really resonated with me. I wanted to discover as much as I could about the deleted material, and I treated it as one last puzzle, more difficult than any of those in the game itself. For almost 2 decades, those of us with an interest in Soul Reaver's unfinished original ending assumed that we'd uncover just about everything we were ever likely to see with our own eyes. We assumed that Crystal Dynamics still had at least some of it stored safely away, but such things are rarely shown to the public by any studio or publisher. I'm very happy to have been proven incorrect in this case. The remastered version of Soul Reaver was made by people who love the game at least as much as I do, and they've gone to unprecedented lengths And they've gone to unprecedented lengths. This version of Soul Reaver you're playing right now contains an absolute wealth of other never-before-seen bonus material, but beyond that, the developers have used materials saved by Soul Reaver's original creators to build authentic, explorable versions of the formerly lost parts of the game world. Fans new and old can finally see with their own eyes where Raziel's journey would have taken him in the original conclusion. Ben Lincoln, Legacy of Kain, The Lost Worlds. So The Lost Worlds is a website, just so you guys know, as well. But like I said, this actually has... Crystal Dynamics did actually preserve this game. We're talking like CDs, unmarked CDs. Like I say, you can watch that no-clip documentary. It's very cool. So in the Underseum... Or Undersea. I'm sorry. I read Undercity and Museum at the same time. It came Underseum. Undercity Museum levels. The human citadel in Soul Reaver originally featured an extensive subterranean area that became accessible after Raziel's second battle with Kain. The Undercity was the home of a vampire worshipping human priestess and her followers. Defeating her would have granted Raziel the ability to control the minds of most humans and vampires. Instructions for this mode: the save feature is not accessible. All abilities, glyphs, and Reaver attunements are unlocked by default. Raziel can shift into the material realm without the need of portals. Press LB to reset Raziel's position if he gets stuck. So here you are. You can, right off the bat, you can tell not finished. But you can also see, you know, different textures, things like that. Pretty crazy. I don't know if those light models were used anywhere else. But yeah, these, like I said, these are very rough because they just weren't done. And I think these have been partially recreated. It's actually kind of crazy, like how they're laid out. Go down here. It's certainly a level. And it actually looks like there's no warping, like they didn't even plan the warped version yet. You can just see how rough it is. It is very rough. It's really cool that they put these in. Yeah, you can tell there are still a lot of people who love this game, right? And so do the developers who originally were on this game. The voice actors even. Whoops. I'm pressing, oh. LB just like teleports you up. Okay. Yeah, like I said, the fact that they still have the audition tapes for the game is kind of insane. That level of archive. Because that's a lot of work. Now, granted, most of it is like physical media. They didn't, you know, I think they've been working on digitizing it, but it's still a lot. And Crystal Dynamics, I mean, they have a solid 3 IPs under their belt, right? They have Gex, Lara Croft, and then Legacy of Kain. These are all the glyphs. Yeah, there's not much to this one. There's honestly most of these are very small to my understanding. They're just like little proof of concepts, more or less, or someone world, you know, just building the warp gate. And you can tell, I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh, you can tell this is like the original version too, right? There's no remaster version. The screen or the menus all pixely and stuff, right? So this is the warp gate entrance. Underwater. This tunnel, I guess. Huh. This is huge. Say, how long does this go on for? Is there anything really up there? I guess so. But yeah, it's like playing with the dev controls. Which is fun. Wait, is this where we just were? Maybe it is. Oh, it is! Okay. Huh. That's kind of hard to get to. At least remember, was it down here? I did go down here, but I didn't see this giant cave. It's also nice that they put all the blurbs about what they were supposed to be, because I never would have guessed. I'm like, oh, it's a brick area. Interesting, right? The priestess's boss room. So yeah, as part of that would have been when the like door closed. Cutscene triggers for stuff. Almost looks like a climbable wall. Oh yeah, there's the door. And say it sounds like there's someone in here with us. Oh, you can climb this wall. Okay, I was just in the spectral room. Oh, wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. This is an actual model. The vampire worshipping priestess. You can see the clan's, like clan tattoos on her. Huh. Look at that. Interesting. And then I guess you were supposed to defeat her because in the original concept of Shifter, before they made it Soul Reaver, I guess they wanted possession to be part of the game. And, but they decided just didn't really work out for various reasons. These almost look like they're supposed to open and, like, vampires or something are supposed to come out. This is very cool. Very interesting. Oh, we can't kill her. Oh, maybe we can. Oh, shit. JK, we can. Yeah, I guess that was the place marker for the spell. That definitely hit something. Yeah, I've actually never gone through and collected all the glyphs in Soul Reaver 1 either. I am just not a completionist. And they're just completely unnecessary to get! Which is kind of funny. Huh. Yeah, I had no idea that she would, that she was actually gonna be here and playable. Like I said, it definitely sounds like there's something behind here. Or maybe behind here. Can I warp? No! I want to see. Let me through. No clip. Let me no clip through. Yeah, there's definitely vampires behind here. You can tell that was the original design, is maybe having like a gauntlet of vampires come through because there's spikes on the wall. So you could actually impale and kill them if you didn't have the Soul Reaver or another weapon. That's kind of cool. Yeah, there's a human outside the door here. You can hear him clunking his boots. Actually, out of curiosity, we reload this and go this way. No Soul Reaver and its stairs. Oh god, okay. There is level here. Call it that? Yeah, that's That's some early development stuff right here. It technically exists. Oh dear, yeah. Oh! Okay. And we're back down here. What is this gonna do? Go back to her room. I'm gonna shift out here. Oh, if you do, the door closes on you. Whoops. Well, that's awkward. That's awkward. So that's what it's supposed to look like. And then you look at I don't think you can see her in the spectral realm. Maybe, maybe not. Huh. Very neat. Right? This is the crazy part, is you can be a fan of the game and you just have no idea. I'll be honest, I'm very bad at looking up like extra info outside of games and stuff, right? And I was a fan of this game when I was a kid and never really thought twice about it. So very, very interesting. The fact that her model is almost complete too. I'm not gonna say it is, but almost. She has better chest than Lara Croft, surprisingly. But yeah. You can tell that they didn't quite finish the model, and this was more of probably a playtest thing that they were doing. I'm making a bunch of assumptions here, by the way. But that's what it looks like to me, is that that model was more of a proof of concept / playtest. Not completely done, but done just enough that it was playable. How did you get the old graphics? So in the remaster, you can... I use controller, so I don't know what the button is on like keyboard. But for like on my PS5 controller, it is pressing down the right joystick to switch between graphics. These, however, are the lost levels. They don't have updated graphics. This is in the remaster, under the bonus content. So literally, if you go, whoops, menu likes to double click a lot. It's annoying. But if you go through the menu and you go down to the bonus content, this is the lost levels that we're going through currently, which don't have remastered graphics. Otherwise, yeah, like on my controller, I can press down on the right joystick and it switches between the old and the new graphics. So the smokestack. After exiting the Undercity, Raziel would have traveled to the massive fortress of his final remaining brother, Turel. In Turel's lair, Raziel would earn an enhanced telekinetic ability, then use the towering central smokestack to reach Kain's mountain retreat high above Nosgoth's landscape. Instructions for this mode: save features not accessible, abilities, Gress, and Reaver attainments are unlocked by default. Raziel can shift into the material without the need of portals. There's not music. It's very quiet. So it does... I've been wanting to play through one with OG graphics, although the remastered graphics are still good. Yeah, they are. I like the new models and stuff a whole lot. Yeah, little feet sounds. Everyone has heavy-ass footsteps in this game. Wow, yeah. You can tell how close to done they were with this, because look, the walls are shifting. That's not just like, oh, let's just do this for funsies. That's we were probably done or pretty close to putting this in and then had to cut it last second. That's crazy. Oh. Yeah, there's enemies. Wow. A new weapon. Okay. Can I throw them in the lava? That's the real question. Come here. Does that work? It does! You can throw the poor guy into lava. That's actually lava. Yeah, the lava works. To be fair, not to minimize the devs' work or anything, but the lava is as simple as having like a water plane, right? Except for at least in that part. Let's see if it... Yeah. This is literally just water. That's silly just to say. Which, you know, which is fine when you're developing, you know, doing more proof of concept stuff and the level isn't finished. That's completely okay. I'm definitely not digging on that. It's just kind of funny. Yeah, how far they came with Turel's level, yeah. I actually have not seen Turel's model yet, so I'm excited. I think they put it in, yeah? Yeah, look at that. Working levers? Ooh. No working music, but... Wow. Okay, I'm just like, I'm also looking and I'm not commentating, and then I feel awkwardly silent because there's no music. Wow, there's another enemy. This place is huge, though. Uh-oh, I see a block. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. What are you supposed to do? There's only one way you can't go. I guess it's just to get back up. I like how, because it's the remastered version, they probably just put a flag for the entire game on anything that's like pick-upable. Equipable, I should say. That's a pickup, that little claw symbol is there. Looks like there's not much to this room. I don't even know if I can get back up there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! Oh, there we go. What is up next now that your Soul Reaver nostalgia trip is nearly over? You think it's nearly over? We're doing Blood Omen 2 next, baby! We'll start Blood Omen 2 on Monday. Blood Omen 2, and then after Blood Omen 2, we are doing Defiance. And that will get us at least an extra couple weeks of content. With how slow I do things. After that, I don't know. Probably just go back to variety games. I want to play like Space Marine 2 and stuff. Yeah, I guess we walked all the way up here. Yeah, we walked up this way. There is another door up there. Yeah, there are a couple games I definitely want to play. I just kind of make shit up as I go. To be honest. I just make stuff up as I go. Whatever tickles my fancy that week is what I generally play. Oh, you thought that was Black... Oh, Blood Omen 2. Wait, what? Oh, you thought BO2 was Black Ops 2? I could see that, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. It took me a second because it's in my title, right? I totally whiffed that. Let's go. That makes sense. Yeah, I have never played Call of Duty before. Yeah. I'd once seen videos about the smokestack and how it's supposed to work. I just never really went back on a full nostalgia trip for Soul Reaver and really looked into supplemental materials for it. They moved the title and the tags to the top? Did they? Oh, that's rude. That is super weird. I wonder why. Let's go. A lever. Oh, well, that's a wall. Can't go that way. I haven't seen that yet. I always watch in theater mode on Twitch, though, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention. I haven't watched Twitch streams the last couple days, so if it's... But too busy! I hate that for me. Alright, I think we could go down another way. Let's see. The entrance. Yeah, there's like this way. Just out of curiosity, as always. This looks like we can almost move it with... Because you can. Because you can. Huh. Was this the other way? Maybe. So the other way went up. Maybe they both go up. I got turned around. Oh. We'll see if this is the same thing. It is. So if we go down and across... Also, again, you can tell because it's the remaster because the compass is there. It's the Reaver one. Wah! Well. And thus, Raziel was finally killed. The end. Interior of the smokestacks. Oh, this is where we just were. Okay. Nope, this is where we were. I feel like we've kind of explored what we could. Because I did open this and go through that door, but it didn't seem like there was much of anything in either of those areas. I missed something. Like, there's this door. This is definitely a door. But you're probably supposed to do other things before we're opening it. I didn't see much in this room either. I just kind of almost got stuck. Oh, there's a giant chain. Nope, that's just oh, there we go. Oh, never mind, that's a wall. I was like, oh, look, a ledge. Like, JK, just a wall. Just a wall. Yeah, room doesn't change in the spectral realm. Huh, okay. Don't know if there's much more or if I'm dumb. So this is Turel's audience chamber. I don't know much about. If anything. It's also definitely very interesting coming into this and being like, I didn't even know that these existed. You know? Oh. Obviously, there would have been voice acting going on right now. It's very unusual not hearing anything. How'd you get so good at shooters without Call of Duty?
Let me pass, Turel. I have enough blood on my hands today. My quarrel lies with Kain.
Poor Raziel. Your rage blinds you to the bond of gratitude that we owe our master.
Gratitude? Toward one who would have you grovel at his gate like a dog? You once had noble aspirations, Turel. Now, how humbled are your goals? Do you prosper on the scraps he casts you?
Your insults will do nothing to blunt the agonies of your demise.
You killed me once. Behold the result. I have no more to fear from you.
I didn't know this was that that complete, that featured. Oh, wow. This is like actual... Well, obviously not all of it. I don't know if you could actually kill him. Does he appear? No. Doesn't appear here. Oh shit. I can't switch back. Ticket pays for the whole seat, but you only need the edge. How'd I get so good at shooters without Call of Duty? I actually didn't really grow up playing too many shooters. I did play like a little bit of like Unreal Tournament and stuff. That's kind of it. But Nosgoth was kind of my first foray into taking a shooter seriously, and then Dirty Bomb. Yeah. So I got good at playing shooters basically by playing Dirty Bomb. Am I still good at shooters? Absolutely not. I was okay at shooters, I'd say, when I was doing Dirty Bomb. Compared to that community, it was rough because we had a lot of really good people playing Dirty Bomb, that's for sure. People who went on to, you know, be Overwatch League pros and stuff. So it was pretty crazy to think and... Oh my gosh, he's just laughing. He's just laughing. So yeah, I don't know. Just, I had a really... I met some, like, professional FPS players, and they kind of helped me out a little bit. Just being around them and stuff. There's even sound snippets where Raziel asks him if he can handle water because there's a water basin above him. Oh, is that what you're supposed to do? It's more of a... Well, all these bosses are puzzle bosses, let's be real. Supposed to, like, knock that down somehow, or... Because there's like a ledge up here. As opposed to... Because when you try to attack him, he just laughs at you. Which is a big indication of, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing that. But yeah, it's not fully done, obviously. You had a DOS FPS game called Future Shock? Oh. Yeah, you can't get it. Oh, if Dameward was here, he could tell me how to double jump. And then I could get up there. Dameward! Because I know he found double jump. Which is crazy. For the remasters, at least. Are you soft lock? I mean... Soft lock is a, is just kind of this entire thing. Right? These aren't fully fleshed out levels, so... They were never completed. They weren't ever really made to be public. They were very generous that they allowed them to be recreated and made for public. So yeah. These aren't necessarily supposed to be completable. They're at best like proof of concepts, right? That's a good way to look at it. Of like, hey, we got this far done in these levels and then we had to scrap them. No, this is not the real game, no. Nope. So what's interesting again is that these are all in the remaster. Yeah. These are all in the remaster, so literally you go to the bonus content, they're lost levels, there's a blurb about everything. But the fact that, and so when you spawn into them, you just spawn in like this. Like I said, more proof of concept stuff than anything, which is still very cool. So technically it is the real game, but stuff that was just never implemented. Yeah. But yeah, it does look like you are somehow supposed to get up there. Because like I said, all Legacy of Kain bosses are more puzzles than they are fighting the actual boss head on. Because really, you only hit like Kain in the ass. Like Rahab, you sorry, like okay, Rahab, you shoot down all his stained glass and he dies via light. Malkaya, you crush with a giant blender. Duma, you just lure him into a giant gas chamber and set him on fire. Zephon, you set him on fire effectively too, right? You do hit his legs or him. He poops out an egg. You set the egg on fire, and then you throw the egg at him and set him on fire. Yeah, I know Ocarina of Time had something similar. Discovered lost levels and we're exploring them. And oh yeah, I saw. Oh, there was a. It was at AGDQ a few years ago where they did some like code execution in Ocarina of Time, and it was just crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there is, quote-unquote, a way to defeat Turel. But the fact that it's this playable is pretty crazy. Like, he has a full model, voice lines, and everything. Hi, Real Riggs, how are you doing? Would also have been a pretty short game than the other parts wouldn't exist, yeah. Yep. So, very cool. Like I said, I actually have never seen Turel's model before. Kind of a creepy guy. Creepy dude. As if they all aren't. I'm doing alright, yeah. I've been loving this remaster. I'm happy to hear it. Yeah. I'm happy to hear it. So yeah, that is Turel's audience chamber. If Daymore joins us, I'll see if he'll tell me how to double jump. And then maybe we can get up there. Because you start right here, so it's not like you have to do anything to get here. The smokestack. Alright, and then the retreat. Kain's personal keep perched on the mountaintops between Turel's fortress and the Silence Cathedral. In the sprawling deleted area, Raziel would have fought enhanced members of every vampire clan before his final battle with Kain. With the Reaver's powers amplified by Kain's soul, Raziel would then discover a bridge connected directly to the top of the Silent Cathedral and used its titanic pipe organ to destroy every remaining vampire in Nosgoth. Oh, wow. So he was actually just you were supposed to kill every vampire? That's fucking crazy. What? And I guess that's where they wanted to end the games? That means the Elder God would have gotten what he wanted. Well, it's actually extreme. I've said this a couple times. It's very extremely interesting. Legacy of Kain games went the way they did because basically the entire time they were flying by the seat of their pants while developing these games and writing the story. And the fact that it can be so comprehensive and like we have an actual story that it's confusing because of time travel, don't get me wrong. It still comes together. It's just like they weren't planning for Raziel to be a character while they were making Blood Omen, right? They definitely were not planning for all of this. Whoops. And the fact that they were able to take another game, make it Soul Reaver, and then make Legacy of Kain from it, and now it's become this very well-written, iconic franchise is just insane. Now, I don't know if we can open this door. Not. Dennis Dyack never touched the stairs again after Blood Omen. That's crazy. Amy did a great job, though. I know she did a lot of the writing and stuff. I guess now she's writing for Star Wars. Wow! Imagine seeing this on the PlayStation 1. Holy guacamole. That would have been crazy. Wow, wow, wow. That would have been insane looking at that. She's writing the new Captain America and Black Panther game. Oh. That I had no idea. Here's those damn marble walls. Huh. That suspiciously looks like Raziel. He's freaking fireball. Wow. How pretty, though. Okay, this is Kain's throne room. So I guess you would have fought him here. Wow. What a cool chamber, though. Very cool. Thank you guys for being here, by the way, and just sharing this this love for this series together. It's very cool, and I know some of you are new to the series and you're going, what? Didn't realize how extensive and how well loved this series is, and you're just now finding that out. It's very cool. There's a snake person again. Pulling snake person. I'm curious about like all what feels like, I could be completely wrong saying this, like Aztecian influences between like some of the wall murals and then like the Wind Reaver Forge, and so Reaver 2 feels very like Aztecian. It's very interesting. I'm a boomer, so the series has hit me for a long time. I can't say I'm a boomer. That would be a little disingenuous. But I definitely grew up playing Soul Reaver on my little PlayStation 1 back in the day. And I feel like a kid again, going through like these lost levels and stuff, and finally being able to like grasp the story all these years later, figure it out. Yeah. As far as I remember, Zephon's room wasn't the end. The data should have shown a corridor behind him. Oh, in the Silent Cathedral. Okay, I see what you're saying. Open, we're back out here. I see what you're saying, yeah. All these. Fun. The pinnacle. Oh yeah, we didn't. No, we got up here. I walked up here. Yeah. Again, crazy that these are not that far away from completion. It's like yes and no, right? That's kind of the hard part, is like this is all blocked out and everything, but who knows what kind of triggers and stuff they needed to actually complete this. This is still crazy. I would have probably shit my pants as a kid if I saw this on a PS1. The fact that it's so high up too. Crazy. I wonder if you could see it like walking in, because it said something about like crossing a bridge to get here. Crazy the amount of detail that are in these I guess they're supposed to be statues, yeah. They're not, obviously, but yeah, they're just literally one wide pixel, you know, planes, but wow. These angels. Nutty. I'm curious. Well, no, never mind. I take it back. Never mind. I had a thought, and then I answered my own question in my head. It was about ancient vampires. I answered it in my own head. We're good. We are good. We do see that texture, though, in the corridor of cutscenes. How cool. And the marble texture. They did use that. I don't know if they ever used these stained glass textures, though. Huh. Very, very cool. One more. Forges. Yeah, water. Soul Reaver was originally designed with 6 elemental enhancements for the Reaver. In addition to fire, Raziel would have discovered forges allowing him to imbue the weapon with sunlight, water, stone, sound, and spirit energy, using environmental sources scattered throughout the game world. So obviously this became Soul Reaver 2. Right? Yeah, oh my gosh. You can tell how far in development they were on a level, whether or not it warps in the spirit realm. You can interact with it. I don't know if it does anything, but you can interact with it. Oh no! Oh, can't jump. This does look like a Legend of Zelda area. I really only played Ocarina at time, but it's kind of giving me that vibe. Wow. Looks truly phenomenal, yeah. It's pretty crazy. The Sound Forge. Block out. Yeah. Didn't get far with this one. Looks very much like the water, but maybe they all look the same. Let's see. The Sunlight Forge. I guess they... Yeah, okay. They all have, like, the same structure. Can interact with it. Oh! This one has a little cutscene. The camera's off, but... it has a cutscene. You're not allowed to see it, but it's there. Yeah, obviously it doesn't change the Reaver or anything. But it's there. Yeah, so this one was obviously closer to being done with the camera. They put the camera in the game for the cutscene, and then they didn't move the camera. Or they didn't have the camera tracking yet for the cutscene. The Fire Forge. Wow, that warps a lot. No particle effects. Texture work. The basin for it. Oh, wait. Oh! That's funny. I guess, yeah, there is a texture for this, though. Because you see it during the corridor of cutscenes. There's even sounds. You can kind of hear like a flame sound when you... Huh. Interesting. Crazy. It's funny because the forge itself isn't as developed, but they put the Reaver in. The Spirit Forge. Oh dear. Let's see. They have a hallway to this one? Dang. Ooh. Looks cool. Only one to make it into the game. Makes sense, because they like I said, they do use it as for a cutscene. These are scary looking, man. Look like some alien technology. For some reason, the brick is transparent too. Huh. Yeah, look at the lighting they did in the spectral realm for it. Very cool. Very cool. Is this one supposed to be in like the human citadel? It looks that way with the brick. Because this brick is all over the human citadel. And I think this is the music from the human citadel too, right? Huh. No, Fire Reaver is in the game. That's what I thought. Like I said, I'm very stupid outside of the main story for the games. It's like, yeah, they only put the Fire Forge in, which is interesting. Huh. But they didn't put the actual forge in. There's another way to get it. Yeah. Very cool, though. Very cool. That's it for the lost levels, though. Very insightful. Especially for someone who hasn't gone out and seeks this information. Very cool extra. We went through, like, some of the concept art as well for the games. And I feel like this isn't just Soul Reaver. It has to be for all of Legacy of Kain, I feel like. It's just very cool. Very cool stuff. Corrupted marble, cleansed marble. Renders of all sorts. Mind, dimension, conflict, nature, balance, energy, time, states, death. Like, the swamp looks insane. Very big focus on trees for some reason. Vorador's mansion. That's the Lake of the Dead. Those are the pillars, but they're like Stonehenge instead of pillars, I think. Lake of the Dead. Lake of the Dead. Some mountain, snowy area. Raziel and a signpost. After that, it's very easy to hit everyone with the fire telekinesis projectiles. A trail of charred vampires, yeah. Oh, the time streaming chamber. This is cool. Oh my gosh. This concept art is yeah, because Mobius is, well, this is like Blood Omen, right? Because Mobius's chamber is like in the side of a mountain, more or less. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this is Blood Omen 1 concept art, which is still crazy. Do the later games look more like the concept art? No, because it's all PS2 stuff, yeah. There's only so much you can do on the PS2. A lot of it's still like caves. Well, Blood Omen 2, I guess, is more urban. Yeah, you're going through towns and stuff. So, Blood Omen 2 is more urban. For sure. Actually, that makes sense too. Blood Omen 2 concept art. Because you see Kain as a vampire, really concept art. Sanctuary of the Clans, early explorations. Lots of cool stuff. It makes sense that they would want to be like... This looks very Diablo. This looks very Diablo. Wow. This is... this looks like the Seraphim Stronghold. Wow. Clean concept art like this. Architecture. Mwah. Beautiful. This is the Seraphim Stronghold. Okay. Is there any info on how Mobius's wand has strong effect on vampires? Not that I'm aware of. That orb. The vampire stupid orb. So that said this was supposed to be the concept art for the Drowned Abbey, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Drowned Abbey. Oh, yeah, it is a Seraphim Stronghold. Upraptor's Retreat. Oh, wow. With Skull Falls. Avernus. Bonfires, Villages of Nosgoth. Defile and Defiance. Cities of Nosgoth. Oracle's Cave. Raziel's Signpost. Yeah, Lake of the Dead, Abyss, Circle of Stones. Swamp. Foliage, okay. Where were we? Drowned Abbey, yeah. Concept art for the Drowned Abbey. Which is where Rahab lives, right? Drowned Abbey, Gloomy Sun. Drowned Abbey, Drowned Abbey. Wow, yeah, imagine... Imagine if this game was developed nowadays. Wow. Drowned Abbey, Weed Choked Square. Jesus Christ, this game would have been fucking-gantic, for better or for worse. These are Kain armor concepts. Kain hair concepts. which is just crazy to think about. It's so many concepts for Kain's hair. It's funny. Kain Center. Kain Highlander. Wow. Kain remote rain left. It's Raziel. The Wraithblade. Concept art of it being an actual blade instead of like this spirit thing. But a game that deals with the very distant past of the two races go down well. It's hard to say. The issue is marketability. That's the biggest issue. I think this is what something the Legacy of Kain games struggle with. Yes, it's in Defiance. It doesn't tell you where it comes from or how he got it, but it tells you how it works. Okay. Elder God, I imagine, yeah. It's Mortanius. Nupraptor. Oh, what a guy. What a interesting looking guy. Their armor is so cool. This really reminds me of Blood Elves in World of Warcraft. Very cool. Especially like Kel'Thas. Is that Mobius? It is. Yeah. Malik, yeah, I'm assuming. What a brain, I know. Nupraptor corrupted all the other circle members. I wonder why or how. Crazy. Forgot that he sewed his eyes and mouth shut. Forgot what I was gonna say. Looks like Weapons of a Death Knight from WoW. Yeah, the Wraith Blades and stuff, it does. The problem with the Legacy of Kain series, because the world is extremely cool, right? They have a pretty comprehensive world. They have a map. They have towns. They kind of passively world build as you play as these characters, right? Like you just hear about, oh, the world is suffering, it's doing this, it's doing that because of all these decisions, but you don't really get to see the world either. But I feel like an issue the Legacy of Kain games kind of suffer from is that they're so focused on the characters that it's hard to imagine the games not following someone like Kain, like Raziel, someone, these characters that are already established. There is a lot they can do because this is, like I said, it's a big and huge comprehensive world, right? We could follow like Raziel or his brothers when they were vampires. You could, explore more of the ancient vampire stuff, like the ancient vampires versus the Hilden. But the problem is like, even though fans of the series, when you have to be like a decent fan of the series to be like, yeah, that's a cool thing. Let's follow the ancient vampires in the Hilden, right? Because I think it was Daymord. I can't remember. Someone said yesterday, which is a good point. So far, you're playing a game about vampires, pretty much, right? There's obviously magic and humans and stuff like that, but you think about these games and you think cool vampires. Then you get to Soul Reaver 2 and suddenly demons. What the fuck? More or less. Who are these demons? Where are they coming from? And I think most people familiarity with these games are Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and they don't have a connection to like the Hilden, right? And that's kind of the problem with these games, and also making it a wide enough appeal. It's like, hey, we're making a game in the Legacy of Kain world, but we're not following these characters you already know. Like, obviously we know Janos, but I wouldn't say, the casual fan is going to be super attached to someone like Janos or Hilden, right? When the game Dead Sun was set in the timeline. I have mixed feelings about Dead Sun. I don't think it would have done well. I think scrapping it was for the best. Yeah. I want more of this franchise, obviously, I really do. but marketability is hard. Demons were in Blood Omen with werewolves too. Yeah, but the problem is most people who get into this series, they're coming in with Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2. Those are the most popular entries in this series. And you kind of have to be narrow-minded and think about that when we're thinking about marketability. Yeah. With that much being said, I've talked about this before. Blood Omen remake makes sense, right? It would still follow Kain, which people know. It would reveal more info about Kain, because I feel like playing Soul Reaver 1 and 2, which again most people are more familiar about. First, if you come in and Soul Reaver is your first game, you're like, who the fuck is Kain? I don't like him. He's the bad guy. He looks like a bad guy. He talks like a bad guy. Fuck Kain. He killed us, right? You come with the starting cinematic. You're like, cool, Raziel's this cool vampire, dude. And then what the fuck? We're dead. Right? It's a tale of revenge at that point. And then it slowly morphs away from that. And that's why the storytelling in these games are so good and why you want to keep, playing more. And then you start to get to know more about Kain. So if we're thinking about most people who have only played Soul Reaver 1 and 2, I think something like a remake would do better for the series instead of a new full entry. Because I think we have a lot to explore with Blood Omen. Having played it myself for the first time just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he's the last vampire. That's already a compelling story, right? Like, Kain is the last vampire. Okay, and then you tell a story like he's trying to. So, I mean, the Blood Omen story is good. It's just in a bad format. No, a complete remake. Yeah, not a remaster, a remake, like the Silent Hill 2 remake. Yeah. Do you think the gameplay still stands? No, I think Blood Omen is a god awful game. I played it 2 weeks ago, and I didn't really enjoy playing the game. However, I guess a reboot would make, reboot is the term, because I guess a remake still keeps kind of the similar elements. I'm thinking coming off of the Silent Hill 2 remake, where the game... Did I try to fight Turel? I did. Yeah. I did try to fight Turel. You can't really fight him. Like, you can, but you can't. You can't kill him. He's just kind of there. You hit him and he laughs at you. I think you could make Blood Omen into an insanely good storytelling RPG. Yeah. You have to change a lot? Yeah. I don't agree. You'd have to change a lot about Blood Omen 1 to kind of make it fit in. I don't disagree with that. And I think it's for the better. There's a lot to explore in Blood Omen 1 that did not get explored. Right? And that's kind of the issue with the format of these games at the time, is that you didn't have time, you didn't have the space to explore these storylines. Right? You didn't have the space with voice acting and cutscenes. Like, they wanted to tell these stories. Right? And not just voiceless characters, because you could make a giant game with voiceless characters, right? And to be fair, the PS1 had games like Legend of Dragoon, which was a 4-disc game. Gamers Crave the Vampires was the last game we got a good AAA vampire game. I'm not sure. Nobody knows what the Tollmaker wanted with the Princess's Soul. No, you're right. You're right. And I was talking about this while I was playing Blood Omen again for the first time. It's like, Kain was a nobleman. I don't think we explore Kain as a nobleman very much, right? And to think about him, he obviously has memories from his human life before he got turned into a vampire, because he's like, vengeance. I want vengeance on the people who killed me. And that drives him to kill everything he does in Blood Omen, and drives him what to do in Blood Omen, which is fine. Like, that's a tale as old as time. It's a cliche tale, but it works. And so I think what would be interesting is exploring more of the, not necessarily Kain as a noble, right? I think it's fine that it starts off like we're this human and we get assassinated. That sets up the entire game in 5 seconds. What would be cool to more explore is Kain's thoughts as he transitions into this vampire. Because, again, because the game is so limited and stuff. Yeah, and then suddenly Mortana's just like, here's Janice's heart. Have fun. You're a vampire now. Is exploring more of him, okay, I'm a vampire. What does this mean? Because he doesn't have any other vampires to help him out. Until he reaches Vorador's mansion, which is 2/3 of the game through. Was it like it's either like halfway or 2/3 of the game. It's later in the game, and then you meet another vampire you can talk to. Right? But you're just grappling with you being a vampire. Obviously, in Blood Omen 1, you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm a vampire. Let's go do vampire things. Like, that's the game. But I think Kain's character has more depth than that. So it'd be cool to see that rewritten. I think reboot is a better term for it, Chetrin. You are right. A reboot of Blood Omen. Keeping the same storyline, but rewriting it. I think there's a lot of cool things. You could explore Nupraptor a little bit more. All these side characters. Malik, right? You have all these characters just kind of thrown at you like the doll maker. And you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Mortanius was possessed but could still do something for the vampire side. Yeah, this is just... It's, yeah. There's a lot you can explore in Blood Omen 1 as far as really good stories go. I think you could turn it into a full-fledged RPG. I don't care, turn it into a Souls-like. It would work, right? But keep that storytelling, obviously. I don't even care if the combat's bad. I'm used to bad combat in these games. Personally, I don't think it has to be like, it has to play the best ever. I don't, I've said this before, turn it into a hack and slash, turn it, because there's all these abilities you get too, like, so fuck it, just go hog wild, have fun, who cares? But there's a lot of good storytelling within Blood Omen 1. They were onto something back then, for sure. But they were limited in how they did it and the hardware at the time. So, to recap basically what I just said, I think it would be really cool to have a new entry into the franchise. Do not get me wrong. It would be pretty fucking sick. But for the more casual fan, for marketability and all of that stuff, I think it makes a lot more sense to reboot Blood Omen. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are still very playable, especially now that we have the remasters. I'm going to be playing through Blood Omen 2 and Defiance next, so I'll give my opinion then, but they're still in the 3D format. They don't necessarily work well on Steam, but if you want to, they're still a lot more playable than something like Blood Omen. Blood Omen's really rough. I was very close to using save states and stuff in Blood Omen. It's a rough game to get through. It is a rough game to get through. But it has a really good story to tell. And it has a lovable character already, which is Kain. And because of I feel like a lot of Soul Reaver 1 and 2, what compels you is your curiosity to get through those games. You want to know more. You want to know more and more and more. So why not just say, hey, all right, here's Kain. Now you get to know more about him. Because I'm interested in that too, personally. Yeah. So I think it'd be really cool. Hellhound. Skeletons with gear. See those in Soul Reaver 2. Skeletons with weapons. Skeletons with rusty gear. Soul Reaver swords. Concepts for the sword. Wow. It always makes you, like, it makes you think looking at concept art for, like, this and then what we got. The Soul Reaver sword is absolutely iconic, let's be real, of, like, most iconic video game swords, right? But I wonder if they were just limited in, like, their graphics, so they didn't implement a cooler looking sword, per se. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't have any issues with the current Soul Reaver sword. This is what it is, yeah. If the Soul Reaver Master gets enough positive reception, especially from people outside the cult following, then might encourage a remake slash reboot, hopefully at least. I think that's the hope of everyone who's a fan of the game, yeah. I like the End of Defiance, how everything comes together, yeah. That's all I really remember. It's been a long time. It's the issue with me, personally, is that I have a really bad memory. I have memory issues. And so I've read Dune like 2 or 3 times, and I can barely remember it. So when I go back and I read things about a game like Soul Reaver or watch through the cutscenes and like Defiance, I kind of forget them. Mm-hmm. We know what the function the sword originally had, but how did Raziel get into the blade? Was that not answered in Defiance? I thought that was answered in Defiance. Could be wrong. Because I thought that was like one of the main or later plot points on Defiance, at least, was talking about that. Again, but it's that mystery of like, Raziel's a sword? What? Right? These are all the renders. These old CGI renders, they're so... Ugh. They're so spooky. Still a great cutscene, though. Turel. Zephon. Raziel. Promo art and stuff. Mobius. Bonus Soul Reaver 2. Production character art. There's just so much. It's so cool. I basically became the model for Ariel, yeah. Yeah. Enemies. I love him. I love his model. Very cool. Same with the girls, yeah. It's very interesting that there were women Seraphan as well. I guess these were the mercenaries. Because these weren't Seraphan, they were the mercenaries, yeah. Mobius's mercenaries. All the different vampires and stuff. The undead you fight. Some of the shrines. This Hilden demon thing. Or the Hilden. The Hilden were spooky. Crazy. Very otherworldly. The casters. These are Seraphan casters, yeah. The mages. Malik. Melchiah. Zephon. Rahab. I like the nod of Rahab being the water. Like he can't escape the allegations. He is the water guy. He got seahorses on his armor. It's a cute little nod. Because none of the other ones are like that. It's literally just Rahab. He's like, yep. That's water guy. Oh no, Kazen, I'm not worried about spoilers here, so. I always love the name of the characters, yeah. Me too. Janos. Janos Audrun. It's like a very, very, wise individual. Definitely reminds you of character concept from that time. For sure. Kain. Mobius. The little snake. Very... I don't know what the snake is supposed to represent on his staff, but I feel like it's very on the nose. Because he's 100% a snake. Kain, my beloved. Hello, Alexander. Raziel. Well, concept art for him, obviously. If you've been around, though, you've probably seen most of these. Very, most of these are just on Google when you search for Raziel. The Elder God. Huh. It's the wall. Spooky guy. A spooky dude. Vorador. Oh, he is looking rough in these concept arts. Look at that thing on his shoulder. Holy shit. Oh my god, that thing was terrifying. What is that? Where was it? Is it a bat? Is it a rat? Rat bat? Bat rat? What a crazy thingamabob. Especially the expression. Almost looks like a Dr. Seuss character. Anyway. Environmental art. I need to know who to punch in the face. For blurred dogs. Getting through this part. These are wire renders. So this is a 3D render. The wires. Yeah. Huh. Seraphan Stronghold. Ooh. Graph paper! Wire render. It would have been cool if they took the wire renders and the actual renders the same exact. This is close. It just kind of shows you more of the geometry of the actual levels and stuff. The airport. I want to know new upstairs godhead concepts. All these Aztecian influences. Like, was that an ancient vampire theme? It's very interesting. The chronoplast. Very cool. The Dark Forge. That mural. The Fire Forge. Yeah, not a lot to that one. The Lake. Oh. You can tell how old these are by the resolution. In Reaver 2, the Reaver is always showing us the divine weapon, but we know that Mordor forged the weapon himself, so it doesn't really fit in time. Although he could have been transformed after the curse. Mordor forged the weapon? Oh, look at that. It's like a concept of like where to go that they were trying to figure out. That's funny. Were these around the time of From Dusk Till Dawn? The game? I've never played Dusk Till Dawn. So yeah. I'm assuming that's a game. Movie. Okay, I'm really bad with movies. Real bad. Real bad. It's embarrassingly bad. Like this one's really close to the wireframe. Or maybe, no. Not exactly, but it's close. Wireframes are kind of fun. I started getting into 3D modeling like a couple years ago. So seeing stuff like this is just kind of interesting. It's pretty easy to pick out what's happening. Like I said, wireframes just show the geometry and the faces of something. Like how many polygons, or what they're called. It's called tris count, or triangle count. I guess is a very easy way of putting it. So each triangle is one count. They're obviously very low in a game like this. Front view showing lower chamber. Crazy. Oh, there's the pillars. Yeah. The pillars. Oh, it says right there. They swamp! Ah, the swamp. Sample tree shapes. I don't even remember, like, seeing trees. I guess there was. Like, sort of, but not really. They're just kind of, like, in the background. Storyboards. Dang. Obviously would have been like the opening cutscene. The team. Aww. They're doing the Charlie Angel thing on the right. That's funny. Oh my goodness. Michael Bell visits the Slow Reaver 2 team. That's cute. That's cute. Special thanks. Oh. The story, wow. Oh my gosh, okay. There's a lot to go through here. Historical timeline. Look at that. Look at this. This might have already been known. Honestly, this might already be posted somewhere. This is what I need. Yeah. Historical timeline before Nosgoth's recorded history. The Reaver is forged. Alright, over 500 years before Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Nosgoth vampire population increases. This is early history. The Order of the Seraphan is formed to counter the vampire menace. The human Raziel is born and becomes a Seraphan warrior priest. Wow. Okay. The vampire Vorador slaughters 6 of the Circle for their sponsorship of the Seraphan Crusade. Raziel, the Seraphan, dies in combat, entombed with the Seraphan martyrs. The Seraphan Crusade ceases. That was the vampire purge. Nosgoth's early history. History preceding Blood Omen. Kain travels nearly 50 years into Nosgoth's past. Kain's assassinated the young King William the Just, who will become the Nemesis. Kain discovers another time-streaming device and returns to Nosgoth's presence. Mortanius, the Guardian of Death, is possessed by a dark entity. This is the corruption of the Pillars now. Ariel, the Guardian of Balance, is murdered. The human Kain is born, destined to take her place. Ariel's murder triggers a chain of events resulting in the corruption of the Circle and the decay of the Pillars. Nupraptor corrupted them. The nobleman Kain is assassinated. In the underworld, the necromancer Mortanius offers Kain the chance to avenge his murder. Kain accepts the offer and is reborn as a vampire. This is Blood Omen now. Kain hunts down and destroys the corrupt Circle Guardians, restoring each of the Pillars in turn. Kain meets the ancient vampire Vorador. This is still Blood Omen. Oh my gosh, look at this. Altered historical timeline. Kain discovers the Soul Reaver with an Avernus cathedral and claims it for his own. Kain joins forces with King Otmar's Army of Hope to confront the legions of Tyrant Nemesis. The armies of Hope are decimated. Kain activates the time-streaming device and is propelled nearly 50 years back in time. And kills William the Just. Kain returns to present-day Nosgoth and discovers that assassinating William 50 years ago triggered a renewed vampire purge. Vorador is executed. Kain is the only surviving vampire in Nosgoth. The Oracle, the hub of the Wheel of Fate, are only a being that desires souls. I always love the name. Oh, I already read that, sorry. Kain confronts and kills Mobius, the Guardian of Time. Kain confronts Mortanius, the final guardian, at the Pillars. Mortanius destroyed as the dark entity possessing his body emerges. Kain defeats the dark entity in combat. This is, I'm assuming, a Hilden. With Mortanius' death, all but the balance pillar are restored. Kain realizes finally that he is the balance guardian and therefore the last of the 9. He must choose between sacrificing himself to heal the world or preserving his life and ruling Nosgoth in its damnation. Kain refuses the sacrifice, ensuring the pillars collapse, which you can actually choose to do in Blood Omen. You do have a choice, but the canon event is that obviously he refuses the sacrifice. Era following Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. 400 years after Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, the events of Blood Omen 2. Roughly a century later, Kain sets the ruined pillars as the seat of his new empire and the unrestored balance pillar as the base of his throne. Kain raises his 6 vampire lieutenants. From the corpses of the Seraphan martyrs, Raziel is reborn as a vampire. A millennium passes. Raziel evolves growing wings for his transgression. Raziel is executed by being cast in the abyss. And then Soul Reaver happens. Centuries later, Raziel is revived by the mysterious Elder God at the bottom of the abyss and is reborn as the Reaver of Souls. Raziel returns to reap the vampire's apostate souls and take his revenge on a vampire brother and his creator, Kain. Raziel confronts Kain within the ruins of the Pillar Sanctuary. Kain attacks Raziel with Soul Reaver, his ancient sword. The blade is destroyed on impact. Now a Wraith blade, the Soul Reaver intertwines with Raziel and becomes a symbiotic weapon. Raziel pursues Kain through Mobia's ancient chronoboss time portals, plunge into the Nosgoth Pass. Soul Reaver 2 begins. So that's only up until Soul Reaver 2. Damn. I need that, but for all of them. I need it, but for literally all of them. Value. Anna Gunn, Neil Ross, Gordon Hunt. So cute. Hasha. Music player, Lost Levels, we did that. The lore. This shows you all the areas. Videos. The outtakes are the best. Throwing that out there. The Dark Chronicle. Yeah, this is all the oh my god! This is the entire script! This is what this is! For Soul Reaver and Soul Reaver 2. This is just the full ass script. So if that's up to your liking, here's the entire chronicle. The outtakes are a lot of fun. We watched a couple the other day.
My wayward child returns.
Having unearthed more than you'd like, I suspect. What am I to make of these ruins that litter the land, and these images here in this chamber?
Merely the deceits of a failed civilization. You
His
are
voice
being
is
misled,
insane.
Raziel. This ancient race hoped to manipulate the future with these scrawled misdirections. You must tread carefully. There are dark forces at work in this world, bent on subverting your true destiny.
I have no doubt of that. The question is, am I in their presence right now?
Your arrogance will spell your demise, Raziel.
His facial
Deny my will,
expressions.
and
I
the
love
arc
him.
of your destiny will reach a sudden conclusion.
Your threats are unmoving. Even now, I'm beyond your reach.
My reach is longer than you realize. This is a very dangerous game you're playing, Raziel.
His Michael Bell's facial expressions. Oh my gosh. Absolutely crazy.
Raziel,
I love him.
the failed assassin. You had Kain at your mercy, but lacked the courage to fulfill the act. And now you see the wasteland wrought by the tyrant's hand.
The fact
by his
that
selfish
they
decision
filmed
to
all this is
preserve his
so
own
cool.
life, even when it meant
So rare.
sacrificing the whole world. This is the fate of Nosgoth, as long as Kain remains alive.
An ironic condemnation, given this guilty scene. One would think you'd torn down the pillars single-handedly. What are you trying to obliterate as you drag your loathsome body through this chamber? And why, as Nosgoth descends into madness and misery, do you appear to thrive? Things in this world, I am learning, are rarely what they seem. You, apparently, are no exception.
I am the engine of life, the source of Nosgoth's very existence.
His voice is so crazy. It's one thing hearing it in a game.
The origin of all life.
It's another seeing the voice actor
Or maybe
voice
you're
act.
just hungry. Could it be as simple as that? Wouldn't that be poetic irony? The great adversary of the vampires turns out to be the biggest parasite of them all.
Do not test my patience, Raziel. I made you, and I will unmake you if I become so inclined.
As you
Crazy.
mentioned, I am beyond death.
There are fates worse than death, Raziel.
Oh, I see you now as you truly are. A cancer. A spooling parasite burrowed deep.
You could hear the camera zooming in.
Go now. Play out your pitiful rebellion and take your place among the destroyed, the used,
Zooming in and
the
out.
damned. But know this, you are mine for eternity. You have always been, and will always be, my soul Reaver.
They said the name of their game. I wonder if all these are now just... Oh.
At last. I
Oh.
must say I'm disappointed in your
You get some Simon Templeton.
here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel, to see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never have contained such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we
What's
have
crazy
become
is
like
their
gods?
readings are so good. I imagine they
And
took
as
their voice
such,
lines.
Are we not indivisible?
Well, they had to have,
As
because they
long
made
as a
this
single
cutscene
one of
later.
us
I was about to say, I was about to
stands, we
imagine
are legion.
they took the voice lines and then made the cutscene around the
Our
voice lines.
future
That
are
is only the
predestined.
logical thing, because that's what Soul Reaver
Mobius
do.
foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the
They had
parts
to.
fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Kain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even
It's just so
closer.
good. So good. You don't see Simon, I feel like, too often in these.
Audrin, it is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt.
Raziel, my child, what have they done to you? I have been dragged through hell and back.
I want to see more of the outtakes, though.
So
Or like the
after all
funnies.
this, you make my case for me. To end this stalemate, you must die so that new guardians can be born.
The pillars don't belong to them, Raziel. They belong to us.
Your arrogance is boundless, Kain.
Look at his smile.
Third option. Monumental secret.
That's funny.
Hidden in your very presence here. But it's a secret you have to discover for yourself. Unearth your destiny, Raziel. It's all laid out for you here.
You said it yourself, Kain. There are only two sides to your coin.
Apparently, sir. But suppose you
throw a coin enough times. Suppose one day it lands on its edge.
So cute seeing the voice actors do their thing. It's so
Your
cute.
fatalism is tiresome.
I don't know. Maybe it's only the first few that have kind of the
I see my reputation precedes me.
It does.
more of the fun
All
stuff.
good, I hope. I've been watching you since you emerged from that accursed stronghold. Strange that your arrival coincides with the corruption of the pillars. But I'm wondering, are you the catalyst of these events? Or are you the answer to them? I distrust your origins, stranger. Seeing you crawl from the putrid depths of Mobius's keep makes me question.
It must be
your
so
purpose.
crazy
And what
to come
should
into
I
a
make of your
franchise like
appearance?
this
Not human, clearly. And more demon than vampire.
that you don't. It's brand
And the
new. It's
pillars
being made,
is no mere
and then being like,
coincidence
"Yep,
that
so
your
this is the
arrival in
story.
that clearing
Can you voice act this?"
heralded the
They're like,
pillars'
"Yeah, sure, why
decay.
not?"
And so I ask you plainly, are you the instrument of the pillars' destruction or their salvation? Very
Neither.
well. Let us
Yeah, the first couple are always really fun to watch because it's like just like
Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver. I feel an obligation to work out since I'm Soul Reaver. So when the time comes I really meet everybody, I'll be able to wear tight black outfits. And they won't feel so terribly disappointed to see that it's the 60-year-old cocker doing this voice.
I played that one the other day, but it's still so fucking funny. Michael Bell's like, "Oh, I'm this badass guy, but I'm just some 60-year-old dude. Like I said, if you ever get the chance to meet Michael Bell at a convention or something, he is a sweetheart. He is absolutely a lot of fun. Highly recommend. If you ever get a chance to do so, do it. Do it. It's a lot of fun. All right. I was kind of intending this to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, so I apologize. I just needed to take kind of a self-care day today. Thanks for joining me and looking at the bonus content, though. Like I said, I had zero idea that they actually put Turel in the game. So if you do have the remaster and you're curious about seeing Turel and running circles around him and stuff, you can't really defeat him. However, there's a semi-voiced cutscene here with him and his player model and everything, so you can actually explore that, and it's within the remaster. Yeah, it's just tucked away in the bonus content, like you know, it doesn't even exist, but it's here. It's here, along with some other little playable stuff. Just again, just very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very cool. Highly recommend checking it out if you have the time and if you have the remasters. Lots of fun stuff to do. There's also more to Soul Reaver 1 than just, you know, heading straight through the main story like I do in a few hours. So I highly encourage also just kind of exploring those. Like I said, unfortunately it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. Still clocking in at 2 hours, so not awful, but just shorter than usual. Yeah. For Crystal Dynamics obtained the Legacy of Kain intellectual property. Silicon Knights had different plans for what they described as the Blood Omen series. Although these plans would not come to fruition, their next game, the 2002 Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, focused very heavily upon a grimoire dedicated to a dark god and found in a secret room, the Tome of Eternal Darkness. It seems possible that the Hashagix altar was originally intended to serve as a teaser. Yeah, the whole Blood Omen thing is such a weird timeline, and like I said, it's crazy that we got as good of a story after Blood Omen as we did. With the weird IP struggle and stuff. I don't feel like it was extremely common for IP struggles to be a thing back then, but it was for Blood Omen. They were just very extremely possessive of it, to my understanding. And it was just very weird. The way that whole thing went down. So and then they were able to shift it into the Legacy of Kain series with Soul Reaver, very iconic PS1 game, obviously, and Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, and Defiance. It's just very interesting how the whole thing went down, and it's very cool that Crystal still very obviously loves the IP. And this IP has ping-ponged a little bit, right? It was Silicon Knights, Crystal, and then Square Enix's, and then Crystal was able to get it back. Just this poor IP. That's why I feel like we haven't seen that much come from this series as well, is because of the ping-ponging, just the legality of things. Nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to deal with it, right? Nobody wants to deal with making a franchise or dealing with the legality of stuff like that most of the time. The IP was just in a weird spot. It was a very odd, weird thing. And Soul Reaver 1 wouldn't have existed. Yeah, we would have never gotten Raziel if Silicon Knights went the way that they wanted to. Which is crazy, right? I don't think any of us can imagine this series without Raziel now, right? That's crazy to think about. Absolutely crazy to think about. But still, very cool. Very cool. So, with that much being said, I am going to start Blood Omen 2 on Monday. I will post a schedule on my Twitter, likely on Sunday, of what we're going to do. It's probably just going to be like Blood Omen 2 for the entire week, though. So, more Hilden stuff. That's true, yeah. More than likely. But yeah, thank you guys for just joining me for a little bit. It was still fun to go through these. I had no idea how long it'd take me to get through all this stuff, and I know it's just more of a yapping stream, but I really appreciate you guys. I just wanted to make sure I streamed for you guys today and stuff like that. I feel like I'm gonna couch rat for the rest of the day and maybe like watch SpongeBob and stuff. But I'm really happy. I'm really glad this series is bringing in a new audience. Hopefully, my fingers are crossed. My fingers are so crossed right now that it is bringing in new fans, especially since it released on the Switch. It is just accessible now. That's the hardest part with a franchise where we haven't gotten an entry in 23 years is accessibility. Not everyone wants to go out of their way to emulate, patch things, etc. just to get into a franchise like this. And that's understandable. I wouldn't do it for a franchise I didn't know much about. To be quite frank. Barriers of entries are uncool. And now it is very easy to pick up and play. Like I said, I had no issues just playing along. I plugged in my PS5 controller into my computer. Bam, it worked. We got little achievements and everything. We got hints in Soul Reaver 1. Thank God. Because that was a major concern of mine. We have moving lips in Soul Reaver 1. I still can't get over Rahab's face. It was so expressive when you meet him in the remaster. It's blah. Very cool. And then the old fans are happy because they get the old graphics and stuff too. It's really cool, yeah. You might check it out. Yeah, yep. I mean, it emulates fine. Yeah, I emulated Soul Reaver 2 a week ago without issues. So, there you go. But, with that much being said, the remaster has done a great job. I really enjoyed the updated models and stuff. So, my consensus, I'm happy for it. And I'm hoping that there is enough interest in the remaster that, yeah, that something comes of it. Alright, because the ways to play Soul Reaver have been involved. The Steam version crashes, it's awful, doesn't work, it's just bad. The keyboard controls, you move. If you download the Steam version of Soul Reaver 1 right now and you just boot it up, no patches or anything, guess how you move? You can't plug in a controller and play, no. You move with the arrow keys on your keyboard, okay? That's how. And I would say Steam is probably the most accessible way for most people to play it. I actually never ran into the day-night cycle. Apparently that was a thing that happened. I didn't notice it. I probably got through the game too fast to really notice it. I did see some complaints about the day-night cycle. I think they added to 1. I think. So. Yeah. I like Malkaya better in its new shape. I mean, like I said, I think all the models look really good. The only one that was kind of meh about maybe was like Duma's model. Or the Duma Hin. I should clarify that. The Duma him. His clan. Not Duma himself, the Duma him. I was like, but like at the same time it looked accurate, right? I liked all the new models in 2. I liked it. I enjoyed the updated graphics a lot. Is it like crazy good or crazy different or crazy? No. We're still running on the same engines. We have to keep in mind all the limitations of everything, right? And just dealing with a game this old. So that's the biggest thing, is just dealing with games this old. But I really like the updated models. I think they look fantastic. I think they did a good job. You can tell that they were fans of the series. The only thing that I'm kind of curious about is whether or not they used AI upscaling for some stuff. It looked like it was in some areas. That's been my speculation. Because there were some textures and stuff that looked very weird to me, and it's hard to say this way or that way, but my guess was like AI upscaling without much of movement, but I don't, it's, yeah. There's just so many things that go into a question like that, but either way. Whether it consists 90% of Brazilium or people? What are you talking about? Yeah. But I'll be back Monday. I'm gonna take the weekend. I have a bunch of appointments tomorrow. Ought to be able to look it up. Maybe, maybe not. Like I said, I watched the No Clip documentary yesterday, and by all purposes, it sounds like they maybe didn't, but they didn't say one way or the other if they kind of redrew the textures or not, to be honest. Yeah, they didn't really mention anything like that. They just kind of, the only thing they really mentioned in the No Clip documentary that I remember about retexturing is trying to piece the textures together, like where they go on geometry, and that goes into 3D modeling stuff. That's kind of hard to explain. The easiest way to explain 3D modeling is I like this example a lot. You know those candies like you get for those chocolates, the chocolates you get for like Christmas that have like Santa. They're in the shape of Santa, but the wrapper itself is Santa. But if you undo the wrapper of Santa, it's square, right? It's a square wrapper with that texture. That's a lot of modern textures now, so you can tell that they fit a lot better. It makes sense where they kind of fit and how they wrap around the model. For these older games, you don't have that luxury of where things kind of fit in with the geometry and stuff. And so that's more or less what they talked about in the No Clip documentary. Glad you mentioned. Yeah, a few people did. And honestly, what really compelled me to watch it last night, I was going through some news articles and stuff, my recommended news articles, and one of them said that there was a clip of David Hayter voice acting or auditioning for Raziel, and I was like, well, I have to see that, being a fan of Metal Gear, right? Being a fan of Metal Gear as well as Legacy of Kain, I have to see this crossover. And so I put it on while I was making dinner last night. Yeah, no, I'm very happy I did get to see it. It was a really good insight into a lot of things, especially like the development of the remasters and stuff. So very cool, very cool. Yeah, thank you guys for bringing it up to me, because I probably wouldn't have found it otherwise. But yes, I will be back Monday for Blood Omen 2. Blood Omen 2 Monday, probably 1 p.m. EST. Same time I've been starting the normal streams. We'll get through Blood Omen 2 and then Defiance, and then after that, maybe like Space Marine 2 or something. We'll be done. I'll finally be done yapping about the Legacy of Kain series. But I mean, if anyone ever wants to yap about it, I'm more than happy to. Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you guys. I'll put a waiting room up on YouTube for it as well and everything. And then I'll have a schedule out on Twitter. I always post my schedules on Twitter. If you're ever curious about what's coming up and if there's any changes, I usually tweet about it as well. But yes, thank you guys. It was a nice little stream today. Like I said, I'm just not feeling super well rested to stream longer or really dive into Blood Omen 2 today like I wanted. I also thought it just might be weird, like diving into Blood Omen 2 for like 3 or 4 hours today and then taking a 3-day break and then picking it back up on Monday. I was like, let's just make it continuous as well. But like I said, I didn't know about all the extra playable content in the remaster as well, so I wanted to explore that on stream too, because it was really cool. All right, mwah! I can yap. I could say goodbye literally all day. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go couch rot and watch like SpongeBob or something. Big scary necromancer dragon lays on couch and watch SpongeBob rest of the day with her cats. Sounds like a good day to me. Sponge rot, yeah, exactly. You get me. Or my comfort streamers. I have a couple of those. I've been watching a lot of like. I kind of want to run through Super Metroid again. I'm getting that urge It's a good game. Or a hack or something. I'm very bad at Super Metroid, but I do enjoy the hacks I can do in Super Metroid. So we'll see. Whatever. Let's get through all the Legacy of Kain stuff. Blood Omen 2 and Defiance, and then we can figure that out. Alright. Have a good Thursday. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Stay safe. Go hug your dog, your cat, your Dr. Makara. Go make that doctor appointment. Go send that text. Go tell your grandma you love her. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you.